Chapter 10, 92, Self-Will Gu. Fang Yuan's soul was roaming in Luopo Valley. He did not move far, only around the vicinity of his body. Once in a while, there would be bewilderment fog drifting towards him. Fang Yuan's soul was bathed in the bewilderment fog. He was like a book soaked in water, slowly opening up. The more condensed my soul is, the harder it is to loosen. After cultivating here for so many days, my soul is more than 10 times as condensed as before. This is an incredible improvement. However, compared to Spectral Soul Demon Venerable, this is truly insignificant. Fang Yuan assessed himself, thinking about the Battle of Yitian Mountain once again. Spectral Soul Demon. Venerable was the founder of Soul Path. Even though he died, his soul remained. He still had the highest Soul Path foundation in the world. Spectral Soul's soul was condensed to a terrifying level. Ordinary souls were like illusory silhouettes. They could interfere with the mind at most. They could not affect the material world. But Spectral Soul was so condensed that he could resist the grand tribulation with his soul. The imposing appearance was stuck deeply in Fang Yuan's mind. Even though he lost his memories due to the pure dream reality seeker physique, this portion of his memories was not lost. Perhaps even if Spectral Soul came to Luopo Valley, the bewilderment fog would have no effect on him. Fang Yuan thought as he sighed to himself, when can I have this level of cultivation myself? If Fang Yuan's soul had the foundation of Spectral Soul, then even if the immortal zombie body had a strong trap, it would be useless. Bewilderment fog gathered and scattered. Soon Luopo wind started to blow. Fang Yuan's soul was bathed in the wind. Traces of wind cut his soul apart like steel threads. Pain that was greater than dying by 1,000 cuts made Fang Yuan's soul tremble. But Fang Yuan gritted his teeth, enduring this wind. This wind was not very strong. It did not last very long either. Fang Yuan could endure it. But if he encountered strong winds, Fang Yuan would retreat wisely and keep his soul inside his body. With the protection of his body, Luopo wind's might was greatly reduced. After this wind passed, Fang Yuan's soul shrunk by 30%. To play safe, he returned to his body. Guts Gu! Guts Gu were shattered in Fang Yuan's immortal aperture, as they turned into a mysterious power that affected his soul. Soon his soul became strong again. The injuries from his earlier cultivation vanished completely. Luopo Valley and Donghun Mountain were both sacred lands for soul cultivation. With these two in his hands, Fang Yuan's soul path cultivation level rose rapidly. He was improving immensely. Like this, after the bewilderment fog and Luopo wind, Fang Yuan's soul was tempered like steel. It became more refined and condensed. But he did not know when he could enter the immortal zombie body. 2 hours later, Fang Yuan's soul started to feel agitated. He wisely stopped his cultivation. His soul returned to his body, and he left Luopo Valley. 2 hours was Fang Yuan's personal limit. He had learned it after cultivation multiple times. There were 3 aspects in soul cultivation. Everyone knew about strengthening the soul and refining the soul, but these were just 2 of them. There was a 3rd aspect that was soul pacification. Strengthening the soul could make the soul grow. Refining the soul could make it more condensed and pure. And pacifying the soul was to allow rest and recovery. The 3 complemented one another. If one only focused on one aspect, they would lose out on a lot. It was not worth it. Among which, Guts Gu from Donghun Mountain were the best to strengthen the soul. Luopo wind and bewilderment fog were the best for soul refinement. And finally, the most effective way to pacify the soul was the pacifying soul soup in Bewitching Lake. Bewitching Lake was inside the door of life and death. In the legends, after Verdant Great Sun died, he had remained drunk by the riverside. The door of life and death is inside Shadow Sect's blessed land, and Shadow Sect's blessed land is at southern borders Yitian Mountain. It is currently engulfed by the giant dream realm. Otherwise, if I could obtain the door of life and death, I would be able to gather all 3 and cultivate my soul with the highest efficiency. Fang Yuan was only thinking about it. That giant dream realm was the greatest obstacle. Currently, he could not pass that obstacle no matter what. And most importantly, there was heaven's will. Fang Yuan's every action drew the attention of Heaven's will. Even if he was going to act in the future, Fang Yuan would still be most wary of Heaven's will. As he flew, Fang Yuan did not return to his cloud city first. He rushed to the 12th cloud city. Soon he saw the hairy Mangu immortal 12th hair. Elder Fang Yuan, you are here. This is the self-will goo that you wanted me to refine. Inspect them, 12th hair said in a warm tone. Fang Yuan waved his hand, keeping all of the self-will goo, saying, "No need for inspection. 12th elder, I trust you." 12th hair laughed. He was deeply moved. Before Fang Yuan left, he held his hand as he said with much gratitude, "I have to thank you for giving me this chance to refine self-will go. Otherwise, when treasure yellow heaven opens, I would not have the capital to buy desolate beasts. We are kindred spirits. This is a win-win situation. I hope we can continue to work together." Fang Yuan smiled as he replied, "Of course," 12th hair replied candidly. After the transaction, Fang Yuan returned to his cloud city. Self-will goo. In the room, Fang Yuan mumbled as he held a rank 5 mortal goo. This goo worm looked like a scorpion. It was tiny. It had a unique appearance. It looked like folded paper. In Fang Yuan's hand, it was very light. When it moved its limbs, there was a light sound. It moved very slowly around Fang Yuan's palm. Self-will goo's recipe came from Shadow Sect. Fang Yuan was a complete otherworldly demon now. He was unaffected by Heaven's will. But other goo immortals or goo masters were not like him. How could they resist Heaven's will and prevent it from subconsciously affecting them? Shadow Sect gave him a solution. That was self-will goo. This was a wisdom path goo worm. It could produce a special type of will self-will. Using self-will goo to cleanse oneself, it could block and prevent the influence of Heaven's will. This was an important part of Shadow Sect's research after a long period of experimentation to resist Heaven's will. Fang Yuan obtained self-will goo's recipe in the transactions with 6th hair. He started refining it himself. But the result was not good. He was not a refinement path expert. He could not achieve much on his own. In particular, his time and effort were very precious. He could not waste time on refining goo. Earlier, he refined change form immortal goo because it was too significant to him. But although self-will goo was only immortal goo, Fang Yuan had a great need for it. Thus, after brief hesitation, he gradually felt that he should expose the recipe of self-will goo and give it to the hairy man and goo immortals from Langya sect to get them to help Fang Yuan refine it. The price of asking Langya land spirit to help was too high and unnecessary. Among the hairy man goo immortals in Langya sect, other than 6th hair, the rest were all willing to work for Fang Yuan. Because Fang Yuan was already close to them, or even had a good relationship. Also, Langya sect focused a lot on sect contribution points. After the trip to Taichu, Fang Yuan had accumulated a lot of sect contribution points. The other hairy man goo immortals needed them. 12th hair was not the only one of them. Fang Yuan also asked for help from other hairy man goo immortals. He had set the goo refinement fees to a very low price. It was not hard for Fang Yuan to do this. The hairy man goo immortals were quite guileless, and most importantly, they were skilled in goo refinement. While having some unwillingness to fight, they were willing to accept Fang Yuan's missions. This was not the first batch of self-will goo that Fang Yuan obtained. After placing the self-will goo into his immortal aperture, Fang Yuan inspected the other goo worms. He had shown a trusting and casual attitude with 12th hair, but he was a vigilant person. After receiving the goods, he inspected them carefully. After all, Langya sect had spies like 6th hair. Fang Yuan did not know that 6th hair was the final spy remaining, but he was cautious. He was wary of 6th hair, as well as other potential spies. The inspection took some time, but compared to refining these mortal goo himself, it was insignificant. After inspecting that there were no issues, Fang Yuan nodded, showing a look of admiration. These are refined by hairy man goo immortals. After all, the quality is really superb. Fang Yuan kept the self-will goo in his immortal aperture. Or rather, he sent them into many northern plains. He activated them one by one until these mortal self-will goo were expended. A large amount of self will swept through several battlefields, cleansing all of the heaven's will inside. Other than those inside the snow monsters, the battlefield had none of heaven's will left. These self-will goo are the best weapon against heaven's will, but they are very flawed. They are only rank 5 and are one-time consumable goo. They are gone after I use them. Fang Yuan sighed. He held deep suspicion towards this. This self-will goo recipe has to be an incomplete version. Even though Shadow Sect gave it to me, they surely have a better recipe. But in those transactions, I requested for too many things. This is the limit. I could not obtain a better recipe. Like this, Fang Yuan got rid of the snow monsters in his immortal aperture and used self-will to get rid of the heaven's will. At the same time, he used Donghun Mountain and Luopo Valley to cultivate Soul Path. His Soul Path foundation was accumulating rapidly. Other than this, he even squeezed out some time to coach the Hairy Man Goo Immortals in fighting. Secretly, he got familiar with his immortal goo and practiced his killer moves. Treasure Yellow Heaven's closure was also a huge impact on Fang Yuan. The construction of his immortal aperture was forced to stop, even though Fang Yuan had the capital and plans. Days passed by. While Fang Yuan anticipated the opening of Treasure Yellow Heaven, the second earthly calamity gradually got closer. Lang Yasek's plan towards Taichu had never stopped. From time to time, Hairy Man Goo Immortals received sect missions and used the transportation formation to head to Taichu. These Hairy Man Goo Immortals' first mission over there was to change the environment and stabilize the transportation goo formation. What made Fang Yuan feel strange was these Hairy Man Goo Immortals did not face any difficulties. It was smooth sailing. Heaven's will did not seem to be targeting them.